Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my watch list for game week 31. I'm going to go through some of the popular transfers that are taking place, plus a look at those players that I'm looking on transferring in for game week 31 and beyond. So if you enjoy your FPL videos, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And in the meantime, let's have a look. A quick recap then before I look at the watch list and who I'm thinking of bringing in on how I got on for game week 30. Wasn't a great week. It was 4 green arrows followed by this red arrow. So it takes me over 800k now, my overall rank. 48 points. No one really returning of any significance. Rashford got the assist. And up front I got Haaland, who was the only transfer I made. When we learned he was going to be fit, I had to bring him in, and thank goodness I did. That red arrow could have got a lot worse if I hadn't. So Tony came out, which in the end was a good decision after he missed that penalty. Isaac Watkins doing the business, but not much else going my way. And on paper, before the week started, it didn't look like I was ever going to make many good gains with the side I had, or losses. One transfer was already booked in really for that Haaland move. Sure, been injured really hurt me, and now I've got the added issue that Rashford is a doubt for next week. So moving into game week 31, remember I've used my wild card on 26. I've done well. My rank's gone up massively since then, and I am going to be free hitting in game week 32, so I can take that out of the equation. I am looking at bringing in targeting Manchester City players for their double. Liverpool I do want to get onto as well. I would have liked to have kept 3 Man United players, but obviously we now have the issue with Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford, and hopefully we'll learn a bit more information about that next week. So the side in terms of how it sets up for 31, I think this is what my team would be. Rashford and Shaw on a bench. Absolutely no point in me rolling a transfer if I'm going to free hit in 32, because when I come out in 33, I'll have one transfer to use. So I've absolutely got to use a transfer, and that's not a problem. I do have a lot of players that I want to use a transfer for. Maddison is a concern. He's just not done it, and Leicester just do not look like in a good way. Even with good fixtures they've had, he has not produced anything. And Manchester City away is not a good game for them to be involved in. I do have the issue with Rashford and Shaw. I need to wait, I think, and make a decision as late as possible, or at least hear what's going to happen in the press conference, which should happen Wednesday, with Ten Hag talking about the Sevilla game. So hopefully we'll learn a bit more information about that. Then I've got to make a decision as to whether Rashford comes out, or what do I do with Luke Shaw. And we'll talk about captaincy later on in the week. So that's the state of play. One transfer to use. Do have some money in the bank. What are my options? Let's take a look. One of the most popular players to be transferred in so far, with nearly 70,000 managers bringing him in, is Tyrone Mings. I can see the attraction for him. 4.5 is a really good price. Offers a small amount of goal threat, not much, but with Aston Villa keeping so many clean sheets, their prospects look pretty decent fixtures going forward. Newcastle at home, Brentford away, wouldn't say they're easy. Fulham at home looks nice. You could easily bench him for 4.5, I think, away at Manchester United. And then Wolves away, again, decent fixtures. He's absolutely nailed in that side. I would say if you're looking for players to cover you in game week 32, I kind of get it. I think he's decent. If you're free hitting, I'm not sure I'm going to be tempted by Tyrone Mings. The other one that could go for as well, competition for him, is Moreno. Digne competing with him. There's just a worry, I suppose, over whether Moreno is as nailed on as Mings, but similar price. I don't know. You could take a chance for the absolute security. Mings, Villa playing well. I can't get and see why so many people are bringing him in. From free hitting in 32, I don't need to worry about the long-term fixtures for him. So I'm very happy to sort of let this one pass by. But Mings, yeah, I kind of get why so many people are bringing him in. Even more managers are looking at the likes of Martinelli. And again, with a goal assist, picking up another double-digit haul like he did. Absolutely. Again, if you're free hitting like I am in 32, that Southampton fixture stands out as being brilliant. West Ham away, can I see West Ham scoring? Possibly. Manchester City away, not a game I'd like to target. Then you've got Chelsea at home, Newcastle away. I do think Arsenal can score against anyone. Martinelli, not a bad price as well. He's had a fantastic season, as do Arsenal. But those fixtures, I'm just not sure whether I'll be going for them. With no double game weeks on the horizon either, I don't know. For me, 6.6, if you've got him, I'm not looking to get rid of him. Am I looking to bring him in? Not particularly. If I wasn't free hitting in 32, that Southampton fixture does look appealing, so possibly bringing him in then. But for free hitters, no, I'll bring him in for that free hit side, definitely. But outside of that, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence, but his value is there, 6.6. I kind of get it. For my own side, if I'm free hitting in 32, I'm definitely considering Jack Grealish, as a lot of you will be. Free hitting, so I haven't got to worry about that game week 32. 7 million, his price has gone up considerably in the last couple of days. Leicester at home just looks like a brilliant fixture to target. Even the Arsenal at home match, I don't think particularly worries me. And then he's got the double with Fulham and West Ham. And then he's potentially got another fixture because of that 32 blank in the FA Cup to gain another fixture later on in the season. So he will have another double to fit in there. The big problem with any Man City midfielder is just, will they play? How secure is he going to be? And the answer is you can never be sure. He has played a lot of games recently and he's played 7 on the bounce, getting returns. His XGI looks really decent. You would say with Foden out as well, he hasn't got a lot of competition out on that left-hand side. So I really do like him. But with Champions League coming up, it is a worry. At some point, can I see him playing Bayern Munich home and away, Leicester at home, then the FA Cup, then Arsenal? I can definitely see him being rested at some point. So it is a concern. But out of all of those Man City midfielders, I don't think there's anyone particularly more nailed on at him at the moment. I'd say in previous seasons, and even the start of this season, KDB would be more of a preference, but I am paying a lot more to get to KDB. So for the price, Grealish, if I think in the next free hitting in 32, keep talking about it, but that is important. In the next 4 game weeks that he's going to be playing in, 5 fixtures, if he gets 4 of those, I think I'm pretty happy. If you're sort of FPL manager that's going to worry and start to fret about him not being in the side or when he's dropped or his minutes been managed, then don't go for it. But I desperately want a Man City player in there. I think Grealish has got to be that midfielder to go. KDB is an option, but I think no more guaranteed minutes. I'm just going to save money with Grealish. And I'm just getting pretty much the same deal. The same really goes for defence. We'll look at Stones and Diaz as options. But the only one I can really, I think, rely on to absolutely play is Ederson. At the moment, I'm set up so I've got Raya and I've got me. I've got 2 Brentford defenders because I wanted them for the doubles and 29, the doubles and 27. I don't want that anymore. So Ederson could take over for Raya for me, or it could take me out. Ederson is about the only player I think is absolutely nailed, so I don't mind bringing him in. Diaz, a bit more expensive. Doesn't offer a great deal of goal threat. He's probably the next most nailed on. I think he's played a lot of the last 5 or 6 games. And again, it's that double with Fulham West Ham that I really want to see him in. He looks like a lot of points and a little bit of a differential. The other one is Stones, who is a slightly more cheaper. I would say he's been really praised by Pep recently. And he has got the versatility of being able to play at fullback as well. Offers possibly a bit more of a goal threat. And he is 0.5 million cheaper. I think with that saving of cost, though, does come a little bit more risk of him not playing his regular minutes. So that is a worry. I think I'm tempted more likely to go down the Ederson route just because I'm absolutely nailed on. I've got the City defence covered, one of the best in the league, if not the best, and he's just a set and forget for me. So I haven't got to worry about anyone not playing or playing. Going forward then, Salah, I want Liverpool. I will definitely be, when I'm free hit, be bringing him in for that Nottingham Forest game. Leeds, I wouldn't mind him. He's got the double with Tottenham and Fulham. And again, I think it comes down to the Grealish issue, where Salah is a good option. He's very expensive. I don't know where else I would go in terms of that Liverpool strike force or that midfield. I think he's the only one that I would guarantee minutes. And yes, he was rested for Chelsea, as a lot of players were. Going forward, I'm not particularly worried. I think he is the only one out of that sort of front 3, as it were, that is guaranteed minutes. Jota, Firmino, I've got Darwin Núñez, Gakpo, who would be the next choice. I don't think any of them are going to play as many minutes. The other concern is obviously the penalties. No news whatsoever yet. Gakpo used to take penalties for his previous club. Will he take over from Salah, who has missed the target? Not just missed them, but can't even hit the target on the last 2 penalties. So that is a worry. Do we keep faith in him? For such an expensive asset, midfield, penalties is a little bit of a cherry on top, and it's definitely a consideration. You take penalties away, not saying he can't return, but he does become less appealing. At 12.8, he suddenly he becomes even more expensive. His underlying stats still look great. It's got to be said. Can't ignore those. And he hasn't just become a bad option overnight. I really do want him. Getting to him is an issue, especially when you own Haaland, and I've got the likes of Bruno at the moment. But he might not be a player I'm looking at this week. Definitely for 33, and I want him for 34. How I get there, that's going to be my main issue. My transfer policy will be determined by what happens to Rashford and Shaw this week. I've got 0.3 invested in Rashford. I bought him at 6.7. We're looking at a flag on him. We're looking at a flag on Shaw. I'm going to be waiting to hear from Ten Hag before deciding, is it Rashford that will come out and Grealish come in, or will it be Maddison that moves on? If I get news that Rashford is out for 4-5 weeks and he'll miss that double game week, even if it's 3 or 4, I'm going to be worried he's not going to be fit in time. Then yeah, I think I'm going to have to take him out and bring Grealish in and keep Maddison, even though the fixture away at Man City is not very good. Same with Luke Shaw. Hopefully he will be fit for the weekend. If he is not, then I've got another question. It may not be Raya coming out. It may be that Shaw will come in. I'll just play Raya and drop Ben Mee to the bench, and Shaw will come out, and maybe we'll look at a Stones, possibly a Ruben Dias instead. But until we get those press conferences sorted, we get more information about Rashford and Shaw, I'm absolutely putting all transfers on hold. I know whether Grealish might go up. I'm just prepared to accept that. At this moment in time, with just 9-8 game weeks left, with the money in bank, I'm not really worried about losing that money. It's much more important for me now to get the right strategy in place. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below, who are you intending on bringing in for game week 31? Are there any players that you think I'm overlooking that I should be considering to bring in? In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection video, all that good stuff. So make sure you hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, good luck. Speak to you soon.